Hey everybody, this is Peter with BibleMoneyMatters.com talking today about the Amazon Kindle Fire. I've got mine right here. The Kindle Fire is a new tablet, Android tablet that was released in November of 2011, so just about a month ago now. And I got mine right after the launch. The Kindle Fire has been one of the hottest gadgets of the year, and it's been the quickest selling gadget, I believe, in all time. The Microsoft Kinect for Xbox 360 had that title, or still has that title as of last year, when it was selling on average well over 100,000 units a day, I believe. The Kindle Fire, I believe, has been on average selling around 130 to 140,000 units per day. So right now it's on track to be the hottest selling gadget of all time, the quickest selling. They've sold several million of them a million of them already. So hot gadget. A lot of people are excited about it. A lot of people are trying it out. So right now I kind of wanted to give you a quick overview of the device, what I think of it so far, and some of the things that I've seen that have improved since I've had it this past month, because Amazon has actually put out a software update since I bought the device back in November. So the first thing, when I first got the device, I did notice one issue that kind of caught my attention right away, and that was the fact that on some screens, especially in the Amazon Silk web browser, the experience just didn't feel that good. It just kind of felt jerky. A lot of places, when you're scrolling through the screens, this has since been improved, but when he first had the device, these screens would be a little bit jerky, and when you're in the browser going up and down in the web pages, it would be real jerky, and the experience just wasn't very good. A week or two after they launched the device, they put out a software update that ended up taking care of a lot of those issues, actually. On this home page in the carousel, previously it would go so fast you couldn't even keep track of what was going by. They actually fixed that, slowed it down, made it less jerky. In the Amazon Silk web browser, they actually have improved the browsing experience a little bit. It's not nearly as jerky as it was before. And they actually are going to be putting out another software update soon here. I didn't want to wait for that to do this review, but I'm sure they're saying that some of the browsing experience and so forth should improve with that update as well. But for me, already they've improved it quite a bit, and it's at this point a very enjoyable experience using the Kindle Fire. One of the other issues that I've had with the device, one of the cons you could say, is that it doesn't have a ton of storage on here. If you want to put your own videos or anything like that onto here, you can do that, but you only have, I believe, I think between 5 and 6 gigs of space to do that. It's an 8 gig device, but again, operating system has about a gig reserved for apps and a couple other things, so you really don't have a whole lot of usable space. I tried putting some videos on here, and they play just fine on here, but again, as soon as you put a few of those videos on here, the usable space is eaten up real quick. So I still think that's kind of a con. It's less of a con if you're using Amazon Prime, where you can get the free streaming movies and get the video content that way, because again, the content's in the cloud and you don't have to worry about it taking up room on your device. That's one of the big selling points that Amazon has been pushing. And I have to say, I've been using Amazon Prime with the free month trial that they give you with the device, and it is a pretty good experience using that. Only problem is they don't have a ton of great free content on there. A lot of it's kind of second-run movies and TV shows and stand-up comedy and that type of stuff, children's shows. So there's some good content on there, but not a ton. So far, I've been loving the device. The Silk browser, again, that was highly touted before the launch. I haven't been super impressed with it. It doesn't feel like it's any faster than any other browser on any other tablet that I've used. I have talked to a couple of friends, however, who said they've used the browser in locations where they didn't have very good bandwidth in the airport and so forth, and they thought that the Silk browser actually helped speed up their browsing experience there. So something to keep in mind. It may help out in low bandwidth situations. So with that, otherwise, I love the device. It's only $200. I got the case goes with it here. Kind of a nice little case that folds down like that. Great little case, 25 bucks from Amazon Basics. Uh, take it with me everywhere I go. It's pretty light. It's about the weight of a book of this same size. You can see it's not real thick. I love the device. Every week that I have it, I like it more. Every time they make a software update, it seems to get a little bit better as far as the user experience on the device. A lot of people are saying that it's using an older version of the Android system, but it's so highly skinned and modified that most people won't be able to tell that. And honestly, I really do think it has a pretty nice looking interface here. Very easy to use. Has your different sections: newsstand, books, music, video, docs, apps, and web. Um, and again, if you want to, there are a couple other launchers out there that you can install on there. I installed one of them just to kind of test it out. I haven't really been using it though. So as you can see there, alternate launcher. But mainly I've been using the Amazon one just because I like it and it works well for what I'm doing. So again, this is a media consumption device for the most part. It's not going to have a lot of other full feature things that you can do, like with the iPad, for example. You're not going to be doing a whole lot of productivity, typing up blog posts and that type of thing on here. But it is great for consuming media, watching video, reading books. I've read probably 5 or 6 books on here already. I love reading it in bed at night with the lights out. My wife is sleeping. I can turn on the Kindle, read it with the white text and the black background, and it hardly gives off any light, and I can still read. I can't do that with my other Kindle that has the e-ink screen because it doesn't have a backlight. So all in all, I love the device. I highly recommend it. Go check it out, and now I'm going to give you kind of a quick overview of looking at the device itself in another video here. Here is the Amazon Kindle Fire, so let's do a quick tour and take a look around on the inside here. So first of all, I'm going to turn it on. Here's the home screen. You'll see some funny looking wallpapers here as far as antiques and all things having to do with books and writing and so forth. So just open it up, you just swipe it like that. And here's going to be your main home screen. You have your carousel up here with all of your apps on it. You're going to have everything from books to music to apps to pretty much everything that's on the device. It'll be in your carousel here. Your most recently used content will be on the front end of your carousel here, and as you go through it, the least used stuff will be at the very end. Down below here you have your favorites shelves. These are going to be the things that you use most often, so you can just kind of pin them here and just go down there and use them if you need to. Right now I've just got some books here. I've got a couple of apps. Got Fruit Ninja, Cut the Rope. Got my Twitter client, the Amazon store, and Facebook. So that's your main home screen and the first place you're going to be coming into when you log in. You have a skinned version of Android on here. And when you log in, you're going to be made quite aware of what you're doing in here. You have your newsstand, books, music, video, docs, apps, and web. So those are going to be the main things that they're wanting you to do on here. First of all, let's go into newsstand. I only have one magazine in here right now. I've got Architectural Digest. So let's go home. Books. I got a ton of books in there right now. You have your different views. You can look at it grid view like this, or you can look at it as a list of your books. I prefer the grid view, kind of a nice little bookshelf look to it. And you've got your most recently read books up here, or you can sort them by author and by title as well. If you want to buy a book, you just click on the store icon on the top right, and that'll take you right to the Amazon store. So it's pretty easy to see that they integrated this really well so that you're buying content from them. That's why they were able to sell this at a loss. So let's go into one of these books here. Just clicked on that. Teddy Roosevelt's biography. So here you have your reading interface. You just swipe in and out of the pages, back and forth. You can change the brightness on there, change the text, the fonts. One thing I noticed though that I don't like is that it doesn't have text to speech like my other Kindle does. Here's my other Kindle right here, Kindle with keyboard. I love the e-ink display on this for reading. and it has text-to-speech, so if I'm in the car and I want to hear the book while I'm driving or something like that, you can just plug it right into the audio and listen to your books. But small thing, I think. Let's go back to the home here. You have your books, have your music. I've only got a couple of albums on the Fire right now because there's not a ton of space on here. There's only 8 gigs, so I kind of have to be judicious about what I put on here. If you go to the cloud, I have a whole bunch of albums on here. If you go to the cloud, and you can have them streaming from the cloud, which works fine when you're using Wi-Fi, but otherwise it can be kind of a pain. If you want to play something, you just click on it, and it'll have a basic player that'll play the music for you. Nothing special. So you got your music, you got video. Let's turn this music off. I didn't mean to start playing that. When you go into the video, it'll take you right to Amazon.com and their library of videos. If you have Amazon Prime, which you'll get a one-month trial when you buy the Fire, you can view the Prime videos right here that are for free. They'll be right in the top row, if that ever comes up. Okay, so here we go. Here's kind of a grid view of some of the movies that are available for viewing. The Prime videos aren't all that great, but they're free if you have Amazon Prime. And then you have your movies that you can purchase or rent right here. TV shows. Again, you just click on something to download it or view it. It'll take you to a detail page for that particular item. Then you can click on whichever episode that you want to watch. If you're trying to watch the Amazon Prime videos, you can't download them, so you will have to watch them streaming with Wi-Fi, so you won't be able to download them and watch them while you're on the plane or something. Alright, let's go home again. You have your apps. Again, it's going to look pretty similar to something like on the iPod or something like that. You have your rows of different apps with their little icons on there. A lot of the apps that are going to be the same as the ones on Android phones or Android devices, although the Amazon store is a curated store, so you're not going to have all the same ones available. I'll just click into one of them here. Here's kind of a sketching one right here. Kindle. Whoops. Okay. Anyway, so it's a nice little device, easy to use. I haven't noticed any real problems beyond when you're surfing the web. Sometimes it can be a little stuttery or have a few problems with that. It works pretty well as far as surfing time and so forth. I haven't noticed any real problems, but it's not as fast as they might have you believe. I don't think it does have some stuttering. You go up and down. It's not always that smooth. Kind of has to catch up sometimes when you're doing scrolling and so forth. So overall, I like the device. I would recommend it. Does well for what it's supposed to. The books, the movies, the TV shows, apps, and so forth. It's an entertainment device. It's not going to be a device that's used for business purposes a whole lot or anything, but what it does, media consumption, it does pretty well. And I really like it. So check it out.